Gentlemen, let's just dive right into it. Post Super Bowl Monday. How you guys doing? Got another one wrong, guys. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the Super Bowl champions. The Chiefs lost to none other than Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. And if there was any doubt, which there wasn't by me, Tom Brady's the GOAT. I thought he was the GOAT coming into the game. He didn't need a seventh Super Bowl to solidify that for me, and I am not a Brady fan. In fact, I kind of despise Tom Brady. I respect him, but kind of despise Tom Brady. So let's just dive into it. With that being said, I'm a little disappointed in myself, and let me explain why. So I have had a history. The last year or two haven't been great as far as picking the Super Bowl, who was going to win it. But before that, I have had a history of being very good at picking these games. And why? Because I have a tendency to believe. I think there's the fundamental way you win football games is through a good running game and a good defense, right? It doesn't matter how good your offense typically is. Typically, right? Every once in a while, a special offense comes along and debunks what I'm saying, but it's not the norm, right? And so, with that being said, I thought the Chiefs were that exception to the rule, and that's why I picked the Chiefs. I didn't think Tom Brady. You know what? It wasn't even Tom Brady that was the issue for me. It was I thought Tampa Bay's defense wasn't going to be able to do basically what it did last night and slow down Kansas City. And the reason I'm disappointed is I betrayed my fundamentals when I picked Kansas City, right? So because Kansas City doesn't do anything that I expect of a Super Bowl championship team. And now, in retrospect, it's made me think because last year I actually picked against the Chiefs. I picked San Francisco last year. And guess why? Because San Fran is one of the best running teams in the NFL, and they had a superior defense. And if you think about it, San Francisco probably should have won that game. They just didn't have the quarterback. And I'm not down on Jimmy G, but they didn't have enough faith. Maybe that's the best way to put it in the quarterback to bring that game home. Or maybe Jimmy G was just too green to bring that game home. But Jimmy G was one overthrow to Emmanuel Sanders from sealing that game and being a hero in San Fran. So Kansas City ended up winning. It made me think, and then watching them this year, Patrick Mahomes basically only lost one game, and they looked bored. They were toying with people, and then they turned it on in the playoffs, and then here comes Tampa Bay, who I thought Tampa Bay is a good team, but that like where they're weak feeds right into where Kansas City's strong, and I didn't expect. I expected a good game, but I didn't expect Tampa Bay to really be able to hang with Kansas City in the end. So Tampa Bay was the better team. I thought it the whole way. I just thought Patrick Mahomes was the exception to that rule. And um, furthermore, something I didn't think about. Well, not that I didn't think about it. Again, Kansas City flies in the face of everything I believe in when it comes to football. But something it gave me shades of, and this is for all my Bucks fans that should know this, right? Because we've paid attention to Philly over the years, back when Andy Reid was coaching Philly, because Tampa Bay had habitually ran into the Eagles back then, right? In fact, they went through the Eagles to make their first Super Bowl. Andy Reid doesn't like to run the ball. That it used to be a knock on him, right? I think Andy Reid is a phenomenal coach. He is an offensive genius, but he has an issue with not running the ball when he needs to run the ball. Tampa Bay played cover two, and it was a modified cover two because the safeties played so deep. I don't think I've ever seen the safeties play that deep, and he refused to run the ball. He kept trying to do what they do, which which you got to think about the ego that comes with that, but think about how Kansas City just walks through people. You know, that mindset's ingrained in them that can't nobody stop us from doing what we do. Well, they ran into the team that finally could. And you gotta wonder what losing Travis Fisher and then the offensive line shuffling, what that plays into it. But you had to change it up. In the second half, they came out running the ball, and it was working really well because when you're in cover two and it's successful, you have to run the ball to get them out of cover two to beat. You run the ball to set up the pass. But in order to do that, you would have to subscribe to my theory that you got to run the ball and play good defense, right? And you don't even have to have the greatest defense, but you got to have a solid defense. But if you run the ball, the safeties come up, and next thing you know, you got Tyreek Hill one-on-one or Travis Kelce one-on-one or anybody with all that speed one-on-one. When the safeties are 30 yards deep and they're forcing you to just dump it off and they can't block Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul. Remember, I said this is probably the best front seven in football. You guys saw what I saw. It was pretty bad. I actually think this is good for the Kansas City Chiefs. I actually think it's good for Patrick Mahomes to feel this because I really think they're gonna come back with an axe to grind this year. I don't think you're gonna see bored Kansas City. I think they're gonna come out to make a statement next year. They need a few things on defense though, but that's not to say that they can't find those pieces. And here's a scarier thing. Tampa Bay, I didn't pick Tampa Bay originally because I thought their issues in the secondary were going to become too apparent. I didn't expect them to win this year. I expect them to be good. I didn't expect them to win this year. Next year, with another offseason, what if the Patriots don't keep Stephon Gilmore and Gilmore ends up in Tampa Bay? Oof. It's gonna be tough. They get them a legit corner and or safety. It's gonna be tough. I don't see who's keeping Tampa Bay out of the Super Bowl. I think the Saints are gonna go through a little bit of a rebuild. If Drew Brees retires, I think they have kind of hit the wall with their cap room. I think they're well over their cap, so they're gonna have to let a few people go. The Falcons are the Falcons, and Carolina, I mean, we got to see what they do in the offseason, but Carolina is not exactly ready for prime time. That is, of course, things can change. They can mess around and trade for Deshaun Watson, right? So, Tampa Bay might be right back here, but you could be watching Tampa Bay, Kansas City again. We'll see what my Cowboys think of that and my Jags. I think my Jags they got a lot of moves they got to make. But I think Cowboys could have a bounce back season. I don't even, you know what? We're not even gonna talk Cowboys right now because I ain't trying to hear everybody's mouth about it right this second. But just know, it could be an interesting offseason. Right. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments of the Super Bowl. I wish it was a better watch. It was kind of a relatively boring Super Bowl. Tampa Bay, took the lead and never looked back. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Put your questions in the comments, and I'll get back with you. All right. Remember to hit the link. Please subscribe, like. Takes 5 seconds out your day. Appreciate you guys. Peace.